Right, this is my very early BSA improved Model D. I did a video on this when I first got it, and as you can see I have now fitted the Mark 8 BSA sight to it, or number 8 rather, BSA sight to it. And what I found when I fitted this was I had a few little problems came up with the accuracy of the rifle. So the first thing I discovered was when I tried to fit the sight, I couldn't get it straight with the action. And what I discovered was that the stock had actually been fitted to the rifle twisted slightly. So it was twisted out of alignment. And therefore when I put the number 8 sight on, I couldn't get it to line up straight with the action. So I undid the screw at the end here, the stock screw, got the stock so it's nicely lined up properly as it should be now with the action, and the number 8 sight fits absolutely perfectly now. Then I found that, oddly enough, the shots were going all over the place. It wasn't very consistent at all. And it was just producing very sporadic groups. So I cleaned the barrel on it, tried a few things, shot some felt pellets through it, because obviously cleaning the barrel on these entails stripping the whole rifle down. So I just fired some felted rounds through it, little felt shot for cleaning barrels through it, with a bit of power shot stuff on to loosen up any old material that was in there. And to be fair, the barrel wasn't bad, it was quite clean, so it came as a bit of a surprise. But then I noticed that when I looked at the chamber, there's actually a little bit of rubbing was going on. And what's been happening is, I noticed when I looked at it more closely, that the lever, when I was closing the lever for the loading port, the lever was actually catching slightly on the cylinder. And every time I closed it, it pushed the cylinder over slightly, because this is held on a spring tension. But there's a little bit of room there, that you can see there. There's a little bit of room. So what was happening is this lever was catching on the side of the cylinder and pushing it over slightly, which was in effect moving over the actual loading port over slightly every time I'd closed it. So when I had it open, it looked like it was perfectly aligned. But as soon as I started to close it, this would catch on the side of the cylinder and pushed it over slightly on the spring. And what was happening, that was causing the pellets to be clipped quite badly. So what I did, took the lever off, straightened it up in a vise, got it nice and straight. Thankfully these are good steel levers, they're not alloy ones, so they can take a little bit of straightening again. If it had been an alloy one, once it's bent, you try and bend it back, you always run that risk or it's going to snap. But these steel levers aren't too bad, they've got a reasonable amount of play as long as you don't go mad with it and take it easy. So I straightened it up, and now this thing is shooting superb groups. For a gun that's over 110 years old, it really is shooting really good groups. I also removed the foresight blade, put that away in a little bag so I'm safe, because that was interfering with the rear sight. And all in all, what a fantastic rifle this is now. I'm really made up with this thing. It shoots lovely. The other thing I discovered as well, when I first tried it, I thought the power was rather low, and I put that down to the fact that it's just an old gun and I've not changed the mainspring or changed the piston washer or anything. But obviously, since I've realigned that lever and the chain and the loading port tap is now straight, the power's also gone up quite a bit. And this thing, for a 177 gun that's 110 years old, has also got a reasonable amount of power now, as well as being very accurate. So it just goes to show something that you might not... I mean, I've had hundreds and hundreds of air rifles, but I just didn't notice because it was only slightly catching. It was imperceptible when you were closing the tap. You couldn't really feel it grinding against the side of the cylinder or anything. But it just goes to show that something as comparatively small as that may have gone unnoticed, had quite a devastating effect on the accuracy. And now this is shooting beautifully. I knew what they were capable of because my light pattern one that I've got is a very, very accurate air rifle. Really is. And this thing now is just as good, if not better, because I shoot much better with these little diopter sights. And that is a lovely looking thing as well. Fantastic air rifle. Thanks for watching.